All right, baby. We are back with another episode of Back Nine Bets, friends, family, and fans. Episode 119. Outright. No idea what that is, but we got the Sea Island Mafia in the house. So we are original gangster, white boy gangster going on. Don't ask questions. Don't hear answers you don't want to hear. Anthony in the hizzy. What's up, my brother? How are you? We're going to cruise through this episode. No Kenny Kim. He's got some work obligations to cover our underdog draft, but don't worry. I've got tons of slow drafts we can get to using the Dog Dominator over there for yourself. So use that for yourself if you are in the mood to kind of get into some best ball drafts over at underdog.com, where you can go and do some PGA best ball drafts. And those are lots and lots of fun. You got up until I think January 2nd is when the century starts, and that is when you want to get your ass in those contests. So we are going to be rocking and rolling with those at the end. We're going to have the Bet 105 matchup lookings at. We're going to figure out where we're going to go with those bets. We've got some outrights, and then we're going to go through the process of betting matchups and placements, as well. We got it all for you. As always, shows brought to you by rotoballer.com. Check it out. What's up, Joanne? Looking good over here. Wishful thinking. Hey, I'm a little dazed and confused. Okay, so we're going to deal with it, have a good time over here, and see where this show takes us. As always, like I mentioned, Back Nine Bets is brought to you by rotoballer.com. Everything you're kind of seeing right now is what you can get over at Rotoballer. I've got my models out there. I've got all that jazz out there for you guys. Please go check it out. We love it when you do that. Use code MANIAC for 10% off. All righty. So let's start off right away. We're going to take a quick look at some key stats. Those are always important if we want to have this mouse clicking properly. It's not wanting to work for me. So that's fine. We'll just chill out here. Basically a short-ass course. I've ramped up the strokes gained from 200 plus because those are going to be shots that you hit off the tee. Not necessarily going to have a lot of those into the green, but you're not going to be hitting a lot of drivers. You're going to need accuracy off the tee. So driving accuracy is a very weird stat. So to put it into some perspective here, while we're doing this real quick, you don't want to just throw in driving accuracy because there's guys like Ludwig, there's guys like Davis Thompson, they just nuke it out there. They don't care if it's in the fairway or not. But when you have to keep it in the fairway, they are very capable of doing that by clubbing down, hitting hybrids, hitting three woods, when others like Brendan Todd can hit drivers. So basically what you're trying to look at is guys that can hit their long irons and woods very well. So plus 200 and out is exactly what you're going to need here. Average driving distance is about 13 to 10 yards shorter than tour average. So you really got to make sure that you got those things going on there. So we've emphasized that a little bit. If we go take a look at our settings for the model this week, you'll see exactly that. I've got year-to-date strokes gained from 200 out, and we got that all the way up to 13%. So we've got half of our metrics counting as strokes gained approach, which is always important. These are POA. We're not doing POA. It's Bermuda, but I promise you the stats are for Bermuda. We've got that going on there. 15% for birdies. We got 5% for par 5 scoring. There's only 2 par 5s on the Seaside course. That's okay. And then we've got some strokes gained off the tee on shorter courses, 7,200 yards and below. So that's what's going on in that department. We've got 0 strokes gained around the green because you take a look at the key stats. Key statisticals. We want to take a look at some distance here. Look at that. Distance is like pathetically correlative. You don't see any good metrics coming from distances here. You want some accuracy, slight accuracy, but nothing too crazy. Even strokes gained approach, not necessarily getting the job done as much as you imagine. Is this a definition of a putting contest? Potentially. We've got the highest correlations for putting at this venue over the years, and it makes a lot of sense. Hitting a lot of green regulations, making sure that you can hit all of these greens from this 125 to 175 range. About 4 out of every 10 shots come from 125 to 175. We're kind of just taking a look at this 100 to 200. We're sitting at like 70%. So that is a decent chunk of shorter shots. We're not hardly seeing any long irons, but we are measuring that off the tee. And then you can take a quick peek at some metrics here. Last year, they went berserk. Kind of went 2.5 strokes under par per round. That was kind of impressive from that standpoint. This course is short as balls. It's under 7,000 yards, basically 7K a pop. And then you see the strokes, the driving distance, 285, 281, 285, 274, 274. Looks like I've got the same exact ones here from the previous year, but it's okay. We kind of know that this is a short golf course. The driving accuracy is relatively high. And then you've got the green regulation rates that are well above tour average. So that's why this is a putting contest. You have to make sure you can keep your ball in the fairway. Make sure you can get 30 putts afforded to yourself, and off you freaking go. So, as always, we're going to go from the top of the upside ranking over here with Ludwig Oberg. He is $11,200. I'm going to pull up our betting situation over here. Make sure we have our odds, because we're going to be plugging these in. We're kind of going with the flow, but maybe we can rattle off a few outrights as we're going down the board and seeing where we go. So we might as well just start with that in the meantime. Let's go with, and the reason why it's outright is because we've got a Denny McCarthy, we've got a Matt McCarty, and a Matthew McConaughey all on the betting card. So don't know when Matthew McConaughey is going to be playing, but it just seems right to have him because we've got Matt McCarty, Denny McCarthy, Matthew McConaughey. We've got them all. We've got all the Macs, all the McConaugheys, all the McCarthys, all the Hugheses, the whole shebangses. So we even got a Mackenzie on the freaking betting card. So let's get into it. We've got Denny McCarthy right away. We'll pull him up on the model. He's 25-1, and this is at Bet365 where you can get places with each ways of 6 over there. As always, you can go and check out Bet105. Use that as your place to bet if you don't have it in your state. They have it every single where if you're in the mood for that kind of stuff. So I want you to be knowing that you can go to Bet105, check out the odds over there. Deposit $5, you get $25 back. If that bet loses, you can get another 25. If you just send customer service a message, say back nines sent you, you can get your refund over there. So we've got a lot of stuff going on for you at Bet105. Please go check them out. They've got matchups with handicaps. You can get a guy that's got plus 1.5. So even if he loses by 1, you are good to go. So I'll show you right now when I pull this up. They've got 105 odds over at the NFL lines. We've got all sorts of delightful things going on over here. So I'm going to show you. We're going to go PGA Tour. Boom chakalaka. Here's the RSM. Take a look at all these wonderful bets. You've got all the outrights over here. You've got first round market. You've got the tournament market. And then we're going to take a look at some matchups as well, because that's the world we like to find ourselves in. And they have really, really sexy odds. I mean, look at this. You've got Jacob Bridgeman versus Andrew Putnam. You can go minus 105, minus 115 straight up, or you can take a point spread bet and you can take Andrew Putnam and give Jacob Bridgeman 1.5 strokes. So you have to beat him by 2 in order for it to cash, but you can get Jacob Bridgeman then at Andrew Putnam, at plus 115. So you get all sorts of different types of situations. And I think, and I believe we're going to do some matchups here after we get through these outrights. So don't you guys stress about that. Getting back to Denny McCarthy at 25-1. He is number 9 in our upside model. But what we do know is Denny McCarthy's played particularly well over here. He's got a couple top 10s at this venue. He has been thriving, surviving, and doing scuba diving for you over the last little while. Now I'm going to go over here. If this lets me, we're going to unfreeze some panes. There we go. We're going to go Denny McCarthy and see what shows up when we type his name in. We're going to go the year of 2024 because we want to just show you some metrics here because Denny McCarthy's been really dialing in the irons. By the way, the chat's a little sleepy. I didn't show up here, 3-6 Sea Island Mafia, for you guys to not be rocking and rolling in the chat, okay? We need to get that pumping. We need to get that rocking. Otherwise, I'm just going to log the hell off over here. Just saying. So back to Denny McCarthy. We're going to take a look at what he's been up to the last little while. And we're actually going to try and find the dates over here so that we can have it in the right order because that's what we need to do. We're going to go oldest to newest. And then you're going to see Denny McCarthy's approach numbers when he ended off the season were quite delightful. We want to just make sure we're also freezing the top pane as always. Freeze top row. Is that one? No, that's not the one we want. One more suggestion here, and then we're going to be on our way. 2 seconds, friends. It's been a long week. I have been a little distracted with some baseball stuff, which we will be getting to at the end of the show. So don't you worry. All right. So now let's go all the way back down here. Here's his strokes gained approach. Boom, boom, boom. Look at this. Look at this. Not the best kind of. What is the Sony Open doing here? We got the other way around. Why is the Sony in here? Anyway, here's the FedEx saying, why are these dates all jacked up? What is going on? Dwight Schrute, what on earth is going on here right now? We want oldest to newest. Make it happen. Let's go. There we go. All right, we're back in business now. Okay, so Denny McCarthy, BMW Championship. Gain strokes are on approach. Beautiful stuff. Struggled a bit on the final few days of the FedEx St. Jude, but looking good on approach there. Then he dialed it all the way in, starting from the Wyndham Championship. Whether or not these approach numbers stick around with Denny, we don't know. But what we do know is old D-Mac has been phenomenal on this golf course. If we take a look at what Denny McCarthy's done at the RSM in the past, we can find some delightful metrics for old Denny McCarthy. He's had some really good finishes at this venue, friends. So the last few times he's played here, we got a T5 and a T10 in the last 3 times he's played. Then we go back to 2019, he's got a T8. So we are really, really close to getting across the mark over here with old Denny. And it just seems to be struggling to kind of win a tournament. But with the iron play that's kind of throwing its way into the mix now, we are looking damn fine. So that's what's going on with Denny McCarthy. We know how good of a putter he is. If we take a look at the model, he's going to be popping up great course history over here. We've got some really solid putting, but the weighted ball striking and crap is seeming like a bit of a problem for us. I don't know why that is the case, but we know he's a damn good putter. This seems like it's making the wrong, pulling in some really weird stuff. What on earth is going on here? Does this look right to you guys? Does this look, well, Ludwig's all the way green. That makes it a lot. Yeah, it looks good. So Denny McCarthy, geez, bud. Last little while, the ball striking's been a little rough, but that's okay. That's why we're getting a 25. That's okay. We know the putt is good. We know he can ball out. The driving accuracy is obviously pretty darn good too, knowing that we don't necessarily need that, but it does help to have a bit of accuracy because guys with good accuracy will continue to do that at this golf course. That's basically the situation. You're not looking for guys with good accuracy they're just going to struggle at a venue like this all of a sudden. You know, they're going to be just fine off the tee because they can still do their own thing if they're lacking distance. But guys with distance advantages can definitely dial it back. So that's why we kind of go with the iron play off the tee as well. So Denny McCarthy, 25-1. Let's go. Great course history. He can putt lights out when he gets going. Love where the iron play kind of showed us where he was moving in the right direction towards the end of the season. Denny McCarthy, baby. 10K, boom chakalaka, Bob's your father. We are rocking and rolling with Denny Mac. The first of the McCarthys. Then we might as well just roll into the next McCarthy. Matt McCarty. Not Bacardi Matt McCarty. And he is our next guy. He's quite the golfer, friends. He has been phenomenal the last little while. We don't really have any of his betting metrics yet. He hasn't played too many rounds, but what we know about him, he can putt lights out as well. Data Golf's got him ranked 8th. He's decent off the tee, doesn't have tons of distance. Shorter golf courses really suit his playing style. Great iron play from 150 to 200. And with the wedges, looking mighty fine in that department. We're 22nd in strokes gained from 100 to 150. And then we're 23rd, we're 22nd from 150 to 200. So it's looking pretty good. 7th from 100 to 150 and 22nd from 150 to 200. So those are the important ranges. We've spoken about that. 200 plus, he's not going to thrive, but he also hasn't played much. It's very small sample size. Things don't look the best for him over there. Played nicely at the Black Desert, blah-de-blah. I mean, obviously won that damn thing. So if he can just keep it together, we are looking good. So Matt McCarty, 60-1, ties paid in full for 5 places. Let's freaking party with McCarty. I love what he's up to. Great course fit. Great number for a winner on the PGA Tour. He's won 3 times on the Corn Ferry Tour. That's how he got onto the PGA Tour and then won freaking then. By the way, been smashing him in best ball. You can get him at the last freaking rounds. He's outside the top 60, top 50 in FedEx Cup, which is a big deal because it means he's going to be playing all the crappy events, but he's also the majors. So there's a kind of interesting McCarty mix that we got over there with old Matt. So we are a fan of him this week. Then we're going to go from McCarty to Mackenzie, and he is 40-1. Mackenzie Hughes is our third outright bet of the week. He is one of the best putters in the world, if not the best. He's likely number one in this field. My computer's being a little bitch, so we'll let that kind of slow up. But you know what happens? Sometimes you get an update right before you have to go live, restart the computer. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But we've got the blue wheel of death. All I know is, there we go. We got Mackenzie Hughes coming up, and he is going to be an option for us in a big way. He's third in the upside model. The guy balls out. Take a look at the putting, third in the field over the last little while. Love what's going on with him. Data Golf's got him ranked number 4. We like that. He's fantastic around the greens. On the greens, he's a wedge savant. His strokes gained around the green. Strokes gained from 100 to 150 is 36th. And then you kind of lose a bit of love from the 150 to 200. So that's going to be his issue. But he doesn't hit a lot of bad shots from that range. He just doesn't gain tons of strokes. But he's a fantastic putter. Fantastic putter. So we know he can do it around here. And this course history, by the way, that is 27th in the field. But we've got 2 second-place finishes at this freaking venue for old Mac Hughes. So he's definitely for the win over here. We've got a Mackenzie Hughes that's finished second twice, and he's missed the cuts twice in the last 4 years. So it's a hit or miss situation. He's playing some great golf. Let's go. Mackenzie Hughes, 3-6 Sea Island Mafia. He's from Canada. It doesn't matter. He's coming to take their territory. So let's go. Joanne says, want to thank you for the win that I had with you and Kenny. I do not underdog, just DFS in golf, football. Okay, Joanne. We'll have to gift it to someone somehow. We'll get there at the halfway mark of the show, and we really appreciate it. I mean, goodness gracious. Look at Joanne being such a sweetheart. You're one of the best, Byron. Keep it up. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Sights in the house. There we go. The chat's starting to lighten up. Joanne out here, getting the chat rocking and rolling. Appreciate all of you guys for popping in. So, yes, Mackenzie Hughes, loved watching him out. The President's Cup, he was phenomenal. Great work from him. A little lackluster every now and then, but he had some really good performances on some days too. So we've got all that short game. We want to rock and roll with him, see what he can get up to, and we go from there. Next up on the betting board, let's go ahead and take a look at one Sea Island Sheamus Power. He is 33-1. He is our 4th outright bet of the week. 33-1. Top 5 finishes, top 10 finishes at this golf course in abundance. He is one of the dudes that knows what's going on. Sheamus Power, babies. 21st in upside, 15th in safety. He's a top 20 beast. In the last 12 months, he has not finished inside the top 5, but that's okay. He doesn't typically show his hand that much. He finishes inside the top 20 quite a lot, but it's not like he's flirting with the top of the board. But take a look at that course history. It's 4th in the field. Delightful stuff, Really like what he's got up to. He's around the green play, pretty darn solid. Now the putting, we'll have to wait and see what he can get up to with the putter. Been a little rough, but we're going big on the course history here. 33-1 on Sheamus, not the worst option in the world. Very solid when it comes to 150 to 100. And then you take a look at 150 to 200, and it's not too bad either. Not ideal, but he's got very good proximity with a wedge in his hand. That's kind of where you get all your scoring done. And his proximity numbers from 150 to 200, also top 30 in the field. Very, very nice stuff from the sea monster Sheamus. So a lot to like. He's also very solid from 200 and out, which is good for off the tee metrics. And that kind of is reflected in his mediocre performance off the tee from 7,200 yards or less on courses that short. So there's a lot to like about Sheamus. If we want to, we can take a look at his top 20 market over at Bet365 as well. I believe that's where we want to take a look over there to kind of capitalize on his top 20 side of things. Because he doesn't necessarily finish inside the top 10, top 5, so maybe we don't get the best performance from him, But a top 20 is plus 137. I have a feeling in my loins that that's going to be a bet we want to place. His current top 20 rate in the last 12 months is 40%. And it implies at plus 137 that it happens 42% of the time. Sheamus for the upside ranking 21st, but we know his safety ranking is 15th. So that gives us just the edge we're looking for to kind of get us over the hump over there. We've got ourselves a 12% edge on Mr. Sheamus Power for a top 20. Go ahead and put that in for your bets if you're in the mood. Okay. Next up, we've got Justin Lauer, 55-1. Can he go lower? That's the big question here, because Justin has been right in the mix the last few times. He almost won the WWT, but couldn't quite get it from the GOAT, Austin Eckroat. But it is what it is. Almost won that, was in the final group in Bermuda, kind of lost the plot in the final group there. But he's been in the mix now for the 2 last tournaments they've played. And you got to feel some sort of comfort at some point. And we're getting a really solid number. 55-1. I understand the course history is ass. It's not the best. But what we do know is that the last little while, he's been diving and thriving. 2024, accuracy off the tee, he's very accurate. His distance is ass. So what does that tell us? He doesn't have to really change his game at all for this golf course. He's been really accurate off the tee. We can take a look at his last few tournaments because we're not going to look at RSM. We're going to take a look at his recent form for Justin Lauer. Because it's been fantastic. The iron play has been great. But the funny thing is, we're not even going to be able to see what he did because in both freaking tournaments, there was no strokes gained. So we don't even really know what's going on. But just watching the golf, the full swing is all about watching because you don't really get the freaking what you can watch, you're going to watch. But we got a 7th at the Pro Tour, we got a 2nd at the Worldwide, and we got a 5th at the Butterfield. I mean, look at these strokes gain metrics. It's been really, really impressive last little while. Kind of lost the plot over the weekend at the Butterfield Bermuda, but it was windy as balls. He didn't like it. He had a few 3 putts from 5 feet. It is what it is. Great form outside of that. We're going to take a gamble on him. Look at this accuracy. I mean, at the Worldwide, he was knocking fairway after fairway, and then even at the Butterfield was okay. So he's going to be in the fairway a lot, which is exactly what you need at this golf course. He's one of my favorite players this week. And in fact, we're going to take a look at his betting profile. Love him for a top 5. So we've got the each way over there at 55-1. Always going to be knocking that one out the park. We can even take a look if you don't want to bet him out, right? Because some people don't like to do that. Some people like to do the placements. We've got a Justin Lauer. Let's take a look and see. Oh, baby, we are scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So it's plus a casual. Where is he? I had him. Plus 450 for a top 10, which he's done quite a few times in the last little while. I'm a fan of that. Raw edge, not looking good. Even though he has won quite a decent chunk of money in there. The top 10 market, not necessarily getting it done over there. But hey, we'll do what we can. I don't mind that as a kind of gut play. His long-term metrics aren't the best, but he can kind of get it going for you in the moment, and he's really kind of found some form in the fall swing. So maybe he can get it going. We got a gamble on him at 55-1. Let's see what he can do for us. He's our guy. If he can't do it, no one can. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. Who the heck knows? And then our final bet, friends. Jake Knapp, 200-1. 200 bills to 1. Jake Knapp, I was stalking his fiance on Instagram to kind of see if I could find Jake Knapp playing golf. Found a photo of him playing with his boys. So he just played a round of golf last few days, which is good because when I was at the John Deere Classic, he was massaging that wrist. Didn't look very comfortable. Hasn't played golf for quite some time. In fact, I'm going to quickly pick up and see when his last tournament was because he's right outside the top 60 in FedEx Cup rankings as well. He's 64th. So we got all of that going on there. But look at the situation. We've lost a bit of form towards the end of the season, but the last time he played was the FedEx St. Jude. And that's been it. He's played 0 golf in the fall. I believe he's been rehabbing the wrist because, some big issues. Yeah, right after the John Deere, you could see there was some issues. Always off the tee is fantastic. And he actually thrives on these shorter positional venues. Cognizant Classic, T4. I'll take a gamble on him over there. CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, kind of a scoring fest. You can mash driver around there, but does some good work. And at these venues, the RBC Heritage, take a look there. Didn't really gain strokes off the tee, but his accuracy was 9%. So he must have had 1 or 2 bad swings. That's cool. Cognizant Classic, check a look at the accuracy, 8%. Very nice. Those are kind of the courses you're going to see Jake Knapp kind of do decent golf at, at the Players Championship, positional venue, accuracy 1%. Now he's lost strokes because he didn't have all the distance he needed over there, but that's okay. Hopefully he can dial in the irons off the tee. Jake Knapp is one of the best putters when he's rolling and rocking. I think, we could expect some serious iron play. I'd imagine the injury happened right over here at the CJ Cup because it just went from really good golf all of a sudden to just nothing, like putrid performances round after round after round. So if we get a chance to take Jake Knapp at this kind of a number with a healthy wrist, who the heck knows? Got some each way numbers on that. That's totally chilled. We're going to rock and roll with the Napster. He's our guy. And that's where we're going to go. So sites, do FedEx Cup points roll over from year to year? I'm going to answer that a little better when we get into the best ball section of this show, because that is imperative. But the short answer is the position you were on rolls over for the beginning, but your points reset. So if you're inside the top 50, you are on all the signature events, but your points reset. If you're inside the top 60, you get into the first 2, and the points reset at the century. So you're in the first 2, but whatever points you're gaining, that might change things up a little bit. So you got to make sure that you can find guys that are going to find their way into it and go from there. But it does reset points-wise, but the position you ended is very important going forward. So have to bear that in mind when checking out that stuff. All right, so those are our outright bets. Let's take a look at our placements. You know what? Or maybe we'll even just do some matchups in the meantime. Let's take a look there. This computer of mine is such a piece of crap lately. Gosh darn it. Look at this. We can't even get out of the world we live in. We can't even get out of the world we're in. What on earth is going on here? There we go. Okay, clear filter. Let's freaking party here. All right. So what we're going to do, let's do some placements, and then we'll get into some matchups at Bet 105. Where on earth is our placement board? All right. Here we go. I'll pull this up over here and start rocking and rolling. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go the other side. Let's go over here. We're going to start with our top 20 bets. Let's see. Let's see who kind of shows up over here. We're going to go filter from largest to smallest in finishing position rates and see who pops up. So Ludwig finishes inside the top 20 about 63% of the time. But you know what? That doesn't necessarily make a difference because his odds are so crap that you can't even get him to be profitable. He's lost you $122 in the top 20 market over the last little while. That's not ideal if you're asking me. So let's take a peek at Ludwig's top 20 number. It's minus 150. That's not going to get the job done. If you are in the mood to bet Ludwig, you got to bet his upside, and I believe that's the top 10 market. Let's go ahead here. I mean, he's also the best in the field, so that's also going to help him. And I believe I've got the settings here for the placements slightly ramped up because we had a smaller field at the Zozo. So let me get that figured out. There we go. We're going to go down like this. And that still takes Sheamus down a smidgen, but he's still looking mighty fine. All right. So let's change our top 20 bet here to a top 10 for old Luddy. His top 10 number is plus 130. Maybe that's where we want to party. That's the place that we want to go. So let's go with Ludwig, top 10, plus 130. Not necessarily that thrilled about him in any other department, but he is the crop of the field. Finishes inside the top 10 about 43% of the time. So that's nice to see from the Lud man. Maybe we want to do a little ladder action. If you're in the mood, you split half a unit on the top 10 at plus 130, and then you can go plus 230 for a top 5. Let's take a look at that menu and see if that's what we want to kind of look at here. Let's go top 10. It just seems like they've got a better edge in that department. And, top fives are rough. So we're going to go with Ludwig for a top 10 plus 130. Let's get him in the books over there. Boom, chakalaka, Bob's your uncle. Then I got Luke Clanton, friends. Second in the model. The guy has been balling out. Got some really, really impressive finishing position rates. I mean, he's finishing inside the top 20 about half the time. And when he's doing the top 20 stuff, he's doing the top 10 stuff. So maybe we just go to a top 10 market for the Clanton and see what he can give us in that department. So plus 400 for a top 10 for someone that's been knocking them out the park for the last little while. Getting himself in here again, I believe he's still an amateur. A 38% edge, top 10 bet for Luke Clanton. Let's go. I mean, he's been fantastic. He's been a fantastic, fantastic talent to show up on the PGA Tour the last little while. Oh, God. What is this dude doing here again? Keith Mitchell, $7,900, sixth in upside, third in safety. As you can see, the safety ranking kind of correlates a bit better with the top 20 market in particular because the safety ranking includes the top 20 percentages. So that kind of makes a bit more sense for you guys that didn't know that are still new to the show. So Keith Mitchell, gosh darn it. 42nd in course history here. Keith Mitchell's top 20 number is probably going to be pretty low. I'm going to have to do some finding here. Keith. Plus 250. He's been really struggling, though. His golf has been atrocious the last little while. So it's going to show up like he's going to be playing some good golf, but geez, he's played bad golf the last little while. Keith Mitchell needs to get the goddamn togetherness because it's been pretty atrocious to end the season. So doesn't necessarily find himself inside the top 10. Although he's grading out really nicely for a top 20 bet at plus 250, I don't know. I can't get behind this guy right now. He's been very, very bad. So we're going to leave him alone. His recent form has been, look at this strokes gained, the last weighted performances, 81st in the field. Not ideal. Not ideal. So Mackenzie Hughes, we want to go to Mackenzie in the top 10 market as well, but we've also got that placement bet. But if you aren't on Mackenzie Hughes, we can take a look at that top 10 number for you guys. He should be plus 320. That's going to be a nice little edge over there. 13% edge for Mackenzie Hughes. Woo. Finish inside the top 10 about 1 in every 4 starts. The odds are telling us it's happening probably 1 in every 4 starts. We also know at this golf course, we've got 2 second-place finishes, baby. So he's definitely got the upside that you need at a venue like this. He's got the comfortability. We can see what Mackenzie Hughes gets up to. Siwoo Kim, next up on the model for a top 20 situation. He finishes inside the top 20 about 4 out of every 10 starts. We aren't going to be betting him top 10 because he hardly finishes inside the top 10. What I want to point out to you guys, those of you that are new to the show, I know it's the diehards. You know what? I really, really appreciate those of you that are in the chat tonight. It's been a long freaking year. I want to just look you in the eye and say thank you for your support. It can be rough in the fall swing, okay? I'm not going to lie to you guys. Things can get grueling. It's a slog. It's a grind. It's brutal. The views go down. The commitment from my viewers, from you wonderful people, disappears because it's the fall swing. We get 3 hours of golf every day only. No PGA Plus, ESPN Plus, no PGA Tour Live, none of that nonsense. So I understand why the level of commitment disappears. It goes to NFL, blah, blah, blah. But I just want to say thank you. From the bottom of my freaking heart, you guys rock. I appreciate every single one of you that watches these videos, that hits the like button, that subscribes to Mayo Media Network, that subscribes to Back 9 Bets, where I'm doing a bunch of underdog drafts every few days. Please and thank you. Thank you so much for all the stuff you guys do. This show doesn't happen without you guys. So I really, really do appreciate every single one of you. Now back to our regular paid broadcasting program. We're going to put the glasses back on you, get back into the 3-6 Mafia, and take a look at Siwoo Kim, who finishes inside the top 20 quite religiously. But if you take a look at his top 10 rates, it's less than half his top 20 number, which you're typically looking for guys to have. The way you can find an edge in a golfer's profile is off of these metrics. Siwoo Kim, these golfers are humans. They know where they are on the leaderboard, and Siwoo Kim finds very much comfort in that top 20 situation. it's a lot less in the top 10. Where Luke Clanton, he's hardly inside the top 20. He's boom or bust. He either plays really well inside the top 10 or doesn't. So Siwoo's one of these guys. Doesn't necessarily find himself inside the top 10 at all. Sheamus, even more so. Like, if you're betting Sheamus top 10 metrics, that's not where you want to be going. So the outright we have on Sheamus is without the top 5. We're going to be knocking out the top 20 at plus 137, like we've spoken about. So I see a few of you guys here. Thanks. Thoughts on Ben Kohles. We'll get to him in a touch. You are welcome. Thank you, Joanne. Sat saying I went through all my PGA DFS contests last year and I have a lot to learn still. Oh, here, picking anything up to learn this curve. Learning curve. Yes, learning curves, dude. And DFS is so brutal. It's so difficult to figure out. Like, you can have a great week, and if you just have one guy kind of screw you over, that great week is just down the drain. You need to capitalize and run hot, but playing aggressively, figuring out some great tight player pools, typically a good way to go about playing some DFS. So back to Siwoo Kim, plus 137 for a top 20 over here. Hasn't necessarily played the greatest golf at this golf course, so we're just going to plug it in to see what it kicks out. A solid edge over there at 13%, but I don't like him this week. I like Sheamus for a top 20. We're going to go to him. And then we've got Davis Thompson, who's fourth in upside. He's been crushing the top 5 market over the last little while, and now he's a guy, Chris Collinsworth. Now here's a guy you want to be betting top 5 instead of top 10. When he finishes inside the top 10, 22% of the time, he's finishing inside the top 5, 18% of the time. So it's barely any difference there. He's got a lot of upside. When he pops, he pops. When he doesn't, he doesn't. So I'm cool going to him in the top 5 market. We haven't bet him to win the tournament at 19-1. We have not. But maybe we go to him at plus 350 for a top 5. We're also going to be playing him in DFS quite a lot. Ooh, we just missed out on 2% there. The upside rank of 4th kind of not doing us any justice. I wonder if we go to 3, if that gets us across the board. No, we'd have to go to 2. Oh, boy. Yeah, so it's pretty close. That's been the market he's been the most profitable in. He's been playing some fantastic golf the last little while. Played quite nicely at the Shriners. I love where we're going over there. Eric Cole is up next. He's a top 20 dog. Look at that safety ranking of 7th. He will find himself in the top 20 market over here at plus 150. He's been doing that 1 in every 3 starts. He's been playing some really solid golf in the fall. Eric Cole plus 150. He's also played really nicely here in the past. He's 12th in course history. So let's get Eric Cole on the board. We are not going to be betting Davis Thompson. The number is just rough. We got the man, the myth, the Asgard legend, Far Canal in the house. I am not a rapper. I'm not a rapper. I'm just C365 Sea Island Mafia tonight. That's all we're doing. I just dress up. I look the parts. I don't sing the parts. Fun fact about me. I am horrific, absolutely horrific at remembering lyrics. I probably sing songs about 50% how it's meant to be sung and 50% how I think it sounds. I can do numbers. I can remember things I read. But Jesus, if you try to make me remember any words to songs, I just can't hear the words. I can't hear how they sound. It's like, I'm sure lots, like, let me know in the chat, in the comments. Like, do you have a thing where you should be hearing things that you can't? I can hear the music. I'm not deaf. I just can't hear the words, if that makes any sense at all. So, yeah. Little confession time over there. What's up, shot like? Let's go, baby. We got some guys showing up all of a sudden. Really appreciate you guys. So we got Eric Cole. We're going to do this. Plus 150. Let's go, baby. Got a 11% edge in that world. Let's see what he can do for us. Sepp Straka's up next. He's a top 5 guy, probably. Finishes inside the top 5 about 12% of the time. He's 15th in our upside model. I don't think that's going to help him get anywhere we want. The form has been a little rough the last little while, but I've been knocking Sepp Straka out in a big way when it comes to our best ball situation. So let's check out Glover instead. He's got a solid course history-ish, not amazing, but consistent. His ball striking has been bananas good the last little while. Very impressive stuff for the glove man. So we're going to go to this man and see if we can find a top 20 bet on Lucas Glover. He is going to be, for the glove, what are his odds? Lucas Glover is plus 175 for a top 20. 8% edge because he's 13th in the safety market. He finishes inside the top 20, basically 1 in every 3 starts. I don't mind that. Plus 175 for Glover. But the thing is, like, he's really struggled at this golf course. I understand the course history is fine. It's just been rough for Glove. Like the RSM, for someone that's from that area, just really hasn't got it figured out yet. So let's see. Over the last little while, the glove monster, 11th. Okay, I feel you. We've got all sorts of random dates going on here, but hey, we're going to just figure it out. Go from there. Missed the cut in 2021, T23 in 2020, T11 in 2018. So, he flirts around that range. Maybe we go there. He's also been doing some dumbass shit on the back nines of golf tournaments. Go take a look at the you know what? Let's go take a look here. Take a look at this. This was some of the most disgusting stuff I've ever seen from Lucas. Let's see if this leaderboard's still up here. No, it's not. All right, let's see. We're going to go schedule. I just want to show you something. This was just one of the biggest meltdowns you will ever see. And it was disgusting. Lucas Glover just going along just mightily fine, and then probably had too many beers at the turn, probably found a hot cart girl, and then decided, you know what? I'm just going to pound a bunch of beer at the turn here and take a quick little +6 in the final round, with the final 6 holes being a double, bogey, 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 birdie, bogey. Like, what on earth were we doing, bro? I mean, he was going along just fine. And then all of a sudden, just lost the plot. So we need to figure out if he's been doing this the last little while as well. Just hasn't had it. He's had a few bad blow-ups. Did it in Mexico. Had him on a top 20 bet there. Let us down. So, some of the best bets you make are the ones you don't place. And I think we're going to leave the glove man, despite his recent track record that suggests we should go to him in the top 20 market. He's been struggling. It's been a bit of a struggle. Matt McCarty, we got him top 5, the each way there. And we've also got the outright at 60-1. So we're going to leave him alone for the placement sides, but we're going to knock him out in the outright market. Got Farkin now saying it's all good, brother. If I were all the same, it would be boring. Me, well, sadly, I'm a genius. I get 158 and hung like a Norwegian racing sardine. Oh, Jesus, dude. I don't know. If I'm ever in Asgard, please, I would love to meet. You are one of the funniest people I've ever seen in the chat. You are just make me laugh all the time. So the fun thing about Matt Kuchar, he's $7,600. He's second in comp courses, but 72nd in course history. 58th in course history, sorry. Not ideal. Not ideal, Bob. So what are we going to do with old Cooch? Probably leave him alone. Doesn't necessarily play the greatest year. He's been struggling a little bit. It is what it is. Then we've got Andrew Novak. Similar situation. Look at this top 20 market for Novak. He's just been firing on all cylinders in that market. He's been rattling off top 20 finishes like a boss. It's been really fun. By the way, another name in the best ball streets that I've been just going to town on. Look at these top 20 finishes. I mean, got a few T24s, but top 20, top 20, top 20, top 20, top 20. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. He was WD'd at the Black Desert, unfortunately. Something happened, but playing solid golf at the Butterfield. Finished second. Finished 16th at the Zozo. Solid, solid stuff. Cognizant Mexico Open. Waste Management Phoenix Open. Valspar. Top 20s for days. This guy has been very profitable. We're going to go back to him here. Let's go. I mean, this is the way to do it. Showing us a lot of love. He is not Plus 145. I love that. I think we're going to get a really solid return on Andrew Novak there. Oh, minus 9% edge. Why? 32% rate of return for the top 20 there, I guess, is rough. But, that is what it is. All right, we'll leave him alone. The model doesn't like him as much as we do, even though he's been playing some nice stuff. How do you think McCarty will play in a full field A-tier contest? Think he can pull a Dunlap and shock the... I mean, the thing is, Matt McCarty won 3 times on the Corn Ferry Tour, and it is not easy to win. Like those, you see guys come through those ranks, and to win in those kind of tournaments, you got to be firing. You got to be good. So he might be, with his lack of distance, majors are going to be a bit of a problem for him probably. But positional venues like the Players, places like Sony Open, love that. And we're going to see him at the Century Tournament Champions. I don't know. I'm buying a lot of him in best ball because he's cheap. He's last round stuff. Matt McCarty, I think he's a gamer. We don't necessarily know. Nick Dunlap, I think he's Nick Dunlap-esque in a way. So let's see. I'm high on him. I think he's going to do some great things. We just need to figure out how soon and where. And we believe it might be the short courses situation. So yeah, we like him a lot. Andrew Novak, man, he's been profitable in that top 20 market. Whew. I really want to bet him. Been great at the comp courses, but he's also been like hit or miss. But the recent form is looking really good for Novak. Got 2 top 20s in the last 2 starts, and the putter has been not necessarily the greatest. So at a putting contest, maybe we leave him alone. Let's do that. That's why the safety ranking's a little down there. The putting performances, not the greatest. So maybe we go to Jacob Bridgeman in the top 20 market. He's been scintillating in that department. He is also no top 10s. Is that really the case with the Bridgeman? Because he might be the way to go then. Top 20 market. Yeah, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 20s in his last 8 starts. Great putter. Love this venue for him. So let's take a look at Bridgeman. I know Kenny Kim is on the Bridgeman. Plus 210 for a top 20. Oh, boy. Like that a lot. Look at the safety ranking. Oh, we might bet 2 units on this bad boy. Plus 210. Yes. Let's go. Love Jacob Bridgman. He's the dude that we're going to go to the top 20 market. I mean, this is the thing. Like the strokes gained, weighted wise, he's been fantastic. We've seen some really impressive finishes from him the last little while, but it's consistent. It's consistently good. And that's what you're kind of shooting for. The approach play is not going to be there overall, ball striking wise, not going to be there overall. But man, he's been consistent. And I would not bet him top 10, top 5, or to win. But also, you never know. Great putter. Great situation. I mean, just look at this. The 3rd in the field in putting. Weighted wise, he's looking amazing. Short game is solid. So give me all of that in a big, big way. And we'll go to Jacob Bridgman. We're going to do 2 units. 2 units on that. I love this bet. He's finishing inside the top 20 31% of the time, and it's telling us it happens 32% of the time. In a field like this, at a putting contest, let's go. What's his accuracy versus distance situation? So yeah, he's accurate and got good distance. So that's good to see. Just misses a few shots here and there, but let's go with him. Great on the comp courses, top 20 bets. We're going to lay basically plus 100 money on him at plus 210. So let's do that, baby. Let's go. Cool. Harris English, Sea Island Mafia guy. What's he been up to in the T20 market? He's plus 145 for a top 20. So Harris English doing his thing, not going to get us there. Okay. Ben Griffin. Do we want to go to Gryffindor for a top 10? Another backdoor top 10. Was never looking like he was ever going to even win the tournament. But finished inside the top 10 still. So we're going to go to Ben Griffin. He's plus 300 for a top 10. Does that get us to us? Nope, it does not. So that's not going to work out for us. All good. It is what it is. So I kind of like the bets that we've got right now for the top 20s. We're going to kind of just filter on some options here. We're going to go with Sheamus for a top 20 at plus 137. We're going to go with Luke Clanton at plus 400 for a top 10. We're going to go with Ludwig for a top 10 at plus 130. We're going to go with Eric Cole for a top 20 at plus 150. We're going to go with Jacob Bridgeman at plus 210 with 2 units. Our back nine best bet for plus 210. Let's go. And then we're going to take Ben Griffin for a top 10 at plus 300 at a golf course that kind of suits his skill set. Great putter, not the best ball striker in the world, can make a lot of good putts. So those are going to be our bets. Maybe we find a few others along the way, but I don't necessarily see it happening for us. I don't like to bet the top 5, top 10 market on golfers that aren't the best because Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, those guys have such high floors that those kind of bets work out the best for them. They were just in a different world. We made so much money off of both of them. It was ridiculous. So let's get into the best ball section here. But first we have to do sites. He was asking about who were you asking about earlier? Old sites. Oh, Ben Cole. Anthony was asking about Ben Coles. So yeah, if you're in the mood, shoot through any guys you want to deep dive. While we're doing some Ben Coles, stoke the Coles, let me know what you're in the mood for. We are looking at Ben Coles over here, $7,000. The upside is matching his DFS rank, price-wise. Safety, not the best. So he pops, but doesn't quite have that consistency. So I don't mind him for a GPP play. He's right in the mix here. He's very accurate off the tee. 38th data golf ranking in this field. Solid stuff. Better from 150 to 200. Interesting. His strokes gain numbers are very solid, but his proximities, good shots, poor shots are like pretty poor. So that seems interesting, but the model's doing some wonky stuff to us so far this week. But I love Ben Coles. What's his situation? I mean, the putting is his best trait, but it's here or there. You know, like what's his situation when it comes to, should we take a look at his round by round stuff? Doop, doop, doop. Ben Coles. Okay. Koles. Okay. Just go Ben. Ben Griffin. Ben Taylor. Well, we've got 3 Bens in the field. Okay. So Ben Coles is interesting because when you filter on some 2024, man, he's been around for a while. Got some 2017 rounds. Interesting. Saw him hit some really bad shots at the John Deere Classic. So it looks like he's been making some cuts. 16th at the Sanderson, best finish in the fall swing. Procore, 64th. Black Desert, 46th. Missed the cut at the Shriners. That was windy as heck. Zozo Championship, okay, I guess that's basically missing the cut. 56th there, and then made the cut at the Butterfield. So if you're looking for a cut maker, he's your guy right now. His upside is just rough, especially for $3,000, $7,000. We've got that CJ Cup second place finish where he kind of threw it away on the final hole. So it's we'll see. We'll see. So I can't say I'm thrilled, Anthony. I can't say that I'm unthrilled or put off by him. God, Kevin, I want to deep dive on Twirsol. What on earth is Twirsol? Twirsol. I can't tell you. But you know, $7,000 for Ben Coles isn't the worst price in the world. So let's take a look. Let's see if we can find some guys that are mispriced from our model perspective versus the actual DFS perspective. We'll go from the top rankings over here down. Okie dokies. So some big advantages we find ourselves having. Brian Harmon from an upside ranking of of this situation is not looking good. Got some good course history, but he hasn't necessarily been playing the best golf. I'm out on Siwoo Kim as well. Maybe some Ben Griffin. He's solid at $9,300. Let's go. Did we land up betting him at plus 300? I don't think we did. We'll leave him alone, play him some DFS. Not in on the mood for Maverick McNeely. Mackenzie Hughes. Typically mediocre ownership, but deep dive your soul. Deep dive your Jesus, bud. Please call 911 if you're having a stroke, because you are typing like a madman right now. The soul. I gave you my soul earlier when I said thank you. The well-professed, deeply sentimental part of the show. Go back about 10, 15 minutes, and you will see me profess my soul. Mackenzie Hughes, definite option. I mean, we got a massive ranking change over here for him. I like his chances at this golf course in a big way. Eric Cole matches up perfectly. You're driving. I understand. Yes, good. Nice and safe. Like Luke Clanton in a big way. We're going to be betting him top 10, and we're going to be going with him for a DFS option. JJ Spahn at $8,400. Solid option. So we're going to go with him in DFS. Like that. We've got a big upside ranking discrepancy over there at $8,400. Some other names that kind of pop up. Keith Mitchell, no thank you. Sepp Straka. What has Giuseppe been up to? Chat log is police evidence. Hey, you could be driving your wife crazy. You could be driving a golf ball. I'm going to be on Kevin's side here and be his Sea Island attorney. But yes, sites, you are very right. The chat log as police evidence is, if you see lights, just pull over, brother. Just pull over. Okay, back to where we were. Sepp Straka. I mean, he is an incredibly good golfer. Why is he so far down the rankings? He's been struggling a lot lately. Accurate off the tee, but his recent performances have been ass McGass. It's not been good. But he's also a Georgia Bulldog, isn't he? So he should thrive at these kind of venues. He's also just showing up randomly because, maybe he wants to play some good golf. T13 at the BMW Championship, finished third last at the Tour Championship. He pops. Open Championship, he plays great golf at. Interesting. The putting has been here and there. Played some solid golf in Europe-ish. The iron play is always good for him. The around the green metrics are poor, but a lot of green irregulations hit at this golf course. So, you know what? I'm going to take a gut play on Sepp. The upside's there. I love the upside. Obviously, he's not a safe option. The upside is definitely there. So let's go. Sepp Straka, upside play for sure. He seems to just make cuts. Look at Adam Svensson over here, friends. Losing us $1,128 total betting-wise. Jeez, buddy. Great course history here, though. 54th in upside ranking. Ay. I mean, what's he going to do? Because Svensson's been very interesting the last little while, hasn't he? Hasn't necessarily done much. He's been actually very bad. But, yeah. He's kind of shown a bit of form the last little while. Now we go back to a golf course that he can dominate at. Been hitting the irons nicely. I mean, he's showing up at the right time, isn't he? It makes a lot of sense. He's been struggling mightily beforehand, playing all the big boy tournaments, just not doing anything. Just, when you're finishing outside the top 40, like as much as he was over here to start the year, he got off to a really bad start. Really bad start. Oh boy. But it seems like, he's found his groove at least. I mean, April was some rough stuff. 123rd in the world, 86th in FedEx Cup points. Let's see. I mean, the course history has been very good too. fifth and a win in his last 2 starts, and he finished fifth here without even putting well. So he obviously likes this golf course. I mean, the course history is going to be overwhelming. Keep an eye on the ownership, but he's a potential like gut play type situation. Kirk is seriously on the list for Sea Island Mafia boys. Okay. We completely skipped over him. We can take a look here. What's Chris Kirk been up to the last little while? I've been drafting a bunch of him at the end of drafts lately because he's inside the top 50 in FedEx Cup, playing in the Century, and he's top 50 in the world. Got a 9th at the BMW Championship. He's made 1 million cuts in a row. Nothing sensational, though. What's he got up to at the RSM Classic? It's been pretty bad, to be honest with you. But it should make sense that he plays well here because, I mean, sheesh. This is what he does. You know, like his course history is like a Century. I guess the Sony's a solid one. The RBC Heritage, solid option. BMW Championship in Colorado, just gained across the board out of nowhere. You never know. I can't say I'm thrilled about Chris Kirk at this golf course, but we'll see. Doug Gim, putting contest. No dice for the Gim Master. I mean, take a look here. We got the approach play, balling out. We got the around the green play, putting ass. So it's up to you. You can decide if you're in the mood for Gim. It's a preference play, but remember, I'm going to pull up the key stats here again. Take a look at how important the putting is. It's 6% more important than tour average. Everything else is kind of mediocre or below course tour average. Yeesh, that was a struggle to get out of there. But Doug Gim's iron play is fantastic. So you've got the Gim Reaper, and then you've also got the Gim Chi. So I don't know. I mean, look at these iron numbers. They are great. And the wedges, not necessarily. You know, he's a better from further away. So the wedge play, I don't know if he's a wedge guy. So I can't say I'm thrilled about him. He's also, I mean, look at this. The top 20 numbers for him are very poor. He doesn't have that much upside, even though the last little while he's been showing some form, but he's just a cut maker. You know, that's the thing with old Dougie G. So, you know, we got the second at the Shriners, and that's been it. There's no other solid high-end performance since, despite, look at this beautiful iron play. Scintillating stuff. But where is the love? There's the Black Eyed Peas reference for you there, Far Canal. Show me the love, baby. Where is the love? Where is the love? So the putters showed up a little bit, but again, 1 second place finish. The rest of the time, he's just been making cuts kind of thing. He's got his, you know, patented WD at some point at the Canadian Open where he lost 4 strokes putting. Holy cow. Lost 4 strokes putting at the Canadian Open. God damn. Okay. So that was interesting to see. What a crazy day that must have been for him in Canada. So I'm out on Doug Gim. I just can't do it. You know, if anything, it's a top 50 bet. But that's not what you're looking for in DFS. Watch Sven go from 5th last week to 40th. I was thinking about him blowing his top. Oh, yeah. That's his thing. He's just like struggling. But, I mean, going to this golf course, I'll take a gamble on him at $7,800. We'll see what happens. Not in the mood to bet him. I know he's hurt Spencer a few times anyway. Chris Lewis showing up here. Chandler Phillips also seems nice. We've already spoken about Matt McCarty. We have an outright on him. I'll pop it up here for you at 60-1. Boom, boom, boom. So we are in. We are in on Matt McCarty. Love. It's just we don't really know what he's doing yet. So we're going to just take a gamble on him as an option at a good price, you know. So he's $7,800. We've got tons of upside in a very small sample size. He's very accurate off the tee. We've spoken about all this stuff. Go back, slide. You know, once the show's done, just go back. You can see I'll pull up the Matt McCarty banner, and then it'll be right there. It's basically a live timestamp for you on the tab, in case you guys didn't know that on the YouTubes. Moving along, Jacob Bridgeman, top 20 beast. Love this. Don't know if we like going to him without any top 10 upside. You know, $7,600. is that where you want to go DFS wise, especially with the strokes gained? It's looking really, really good. He's going to be consistent for you, but he's not going to give you that like massive GPP spike week. Maybe you want to throw him in a smaller contest. I think that might be the way to probably play him. But going into the big GPPs, you need guys that can make it into the top 10 to really kind of get a lot of that leverage going on over there. He does provide you with a lot of safety, though. I saw something else about some other people. Who was this? Fishburne has been super popular lately. Any love or just another fish? Ooh, $7,600, 34th in upside, 22nd in safety. So he's either side of his DK price with that, which is 29th. Not profitable in any betting market. He finishes inside the top 40 about 38% of the time. Looks like a top 10, top 20 kind of a guy. Let's take a peek and see what his recent situation has looked like. Okay, fishy. T12 at the Worldwide, solid performance. Procore, parkour, third at the Barracuda, sixth at the 3M. So he looks like he's kind of cooled off a touch since the Procore. Not ideal. He's a distance guy over accuracy for the most part, but still pretty accurate, but also it's not difficult to be accurate at the Shriners or the Worldwide Technology Championship. Played nicely at the John Deere Classic off the tee, which could be a similar kind of a venue. I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. Like, have we missed the boat on Fishburne? Is he a guy that, I mean, he's around the green play is his biggest issue according to the recent situation, and it has been pretty bad. I mean, it got off to a rough start, very rough start to the year. Seems to have found his groove on the PGA Tour. What's his FedEx Cup ranking? 87. So he's fine. He's safe. He is safe. Good for him. I don't know. I'm impartial on him. I can't say I'm thrilled. Can't say I am not. A Molinari T20 dive. Wow. Francesco, I believe, is also looking at his final start as a PGA Tour professional with exempt status. His Open Championship win is run out, and he hasn't had a top 40 in 7 calendar years on Asgard, my friend. So not good. But the course history makes a lot of sense. He's like one of these dudes. Accuracy over distance, that's his jam. Very, very solid from this range. Ooh. Do we have a sneaky Molinari Cinderella story? An Italian Cinderella story from, I'm typing in Cinderella, Molinari. By the way, his brother managed to secure his DP World Tour card over there. So, yeah, Molinari is an accuracy over anything else guy. 17th at the Butterfield, getting a bit of momentum. RSM Classic, what on earth is the course history like this for you? Why? Well, the accuracy is solid. What on earth is going on with my course? Like, my model is kind of all jacked up today. I like him as a situation here. What is this guy doing here? Oh boy, let me block this dude quickly. You know what? I'm just going to ban this guy. It's the first person I've ever banned. So I appreciate you for showing up, but we are banning you. No bad comments, friends. This is, you know what? It's been a very good run. Have hardly ever had any issues with any of you guys in the chat. This guy shows up and starts going crazy. What is that about? So ban that mother. Get him out of here. So Molinari, Farcanel, interesting. Hasn't had the best results here, but man, it's $6,500. I wouldn't go top 20, but I would definitely probably play him at $6,500 in a few lineups. Asking for some 7K guys as most builds end up in that spot. Okay, I'm with you. Okay. So that's cool. My computer's frozen again. Fantastic. Love that. Let's do a few. Yeah, Pat would ban that guy so fast. Banned. Exactly. Banned. So that's the first time I've ever bet. I got a bit of an adrenaline rush. Yeah. Like let's go, interesting stuff. So I appreciate him for showing up, but we're not in that kind of a world. Let's get into some matchups as we get out of here. Let's find a matchup or two to kind of go with at Bet 105. Pull this up right over here. Jacob Bridgeman over Andrew Putnam. I kind of fancy this one a lot because Bridgeman, as we spoke about, if we like him for the safety rankings, maybe we want to go with him there because has Andrew Putnam been playing well? And you know what? I don't even know why I'm typing all this stuff in. I actually have a matchup tool that I can use. If my computer, oh yeah, we kicked that guy to the curb, chop, chop. No messing around on this channel, baby. All right. This computer of mine, I tell you, when updates happen, it's down dates. Like it's sideways. It's like upside down. Look at this. It's like, God damn it. All right, let's just take it. We're going to just eyeball a few of these things. I love the Jacob Bridgman minus 105 situation here. Is this a PGA Championship future of Rory McIlroy at 12-1, by the way? If you like that kind of thing, Rory McIlroy, 12-1 at Quail Hollow over at Bet 105. Everywhere else is like 8-1, 7-1. I think 850 is the best number I've seen. So Rory, solid stuff. Lanto, Griffin, Ben Kohles, not interested in any of that. Sepp Straka, Patrick Rogers. Sepp Straka's just been kind of flirting around there. I mean, Patrick Rogers is probably the side that you want to be on. Where's old P-Rod? Where's my matchup tool as well? Gosh darn it. We got so much stuff going on here. There. Aha. I found you. Okay. Let's get these out of here. By the way, we took down that Mackenzie Hughes bet last week. Loved it at plus 133. So Sepp Straka over Patrick Rogers. Sepp Straka. And first I need to just quickly do this so we can have it auto-populate for us. You're watching behind the scenes on Back 9 Bets over here. We're going to find a few matchups, and then we're going to do some best ball drafts. I've got a few slow drafts in the holster that we can kind of go through using the Dog Dominator if you guys like that kind of thing. All right, so we got Sepp Straka, and then we've got Patrick Rogers. Cool. No dice in that department. Okay. Sepp's got the worst power rating, but he's got a better safety to top 20 ratio. Interesting stuff. So we're going to leave him alone. Bridgeman Putnam. Let's check that one out. Andrew Putnam, Jacob Bridgeman. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Yes. Okay. I love it. Let's go with Bridgeman. We've got some solid numbers on him there. We might even take the fun bet here. So you're going to click over here, and then you can see. You can go with Jacob Bridgeman plus 105 at minus 148. Ideally, I would have liked to go the other way. But since he's the smaller dog, we're going to just go with the minus 105. So I'm actually going to log in here and just get it going. Boom. There's the Mackenzie Hughes money. Love to see that over there. So let's go with Jacob Bridgman. We're going to go with $21 to win 20. Let's go with $31.50 actually to win 30. There we go. Place that bet over there. And I'm still contemplating if I want to do, and we've moved the market a slight touch to minus 106. Fun times. So we're going to go back to some matchups over here at Bet 105. And we're going to do Sam Ryder, Rio Hitsatsuni. I mean, that's got to be an interesting bet. Let's go Sam Ryder, Rio. We got Ryder. Oh, Rio Hitsatsuni over Ryder. Interesting. I don't know if I'm a fan of that, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go with that one. I don't know. What has Rio been up to the last little while? I don't think good stuff. Because I know Sam Ryder's been balling out. He likes these kind of venues. Rio, yeah, can't say I'm a fan. The Wyndham's doing him some love. It's not going there. Don't know what my model's thinking with Rio Hitsatsuni. Back to JJ Spawn, Eric Cole. I feel like that's a very, very close matchup. Not a fan of that. Fishburne, Lower. That's an interesting matchup too. But I think they're right in the same zone. Carson Young, Patton Kazaya. Carson Young's got a very good top 20 ranking. So maybe that will kick out a number for us. Nope. Carson Young. Patton Kazaya. Ooh. So we can go with Carson Young plus 105 at minus 105. Patton's played okay. Patton pending on him, though. You know, Carson Young's a top 20 beast. Patton, was it just the one good tournament, or is he actually, it's been rough since he's won. So we might have to check him out, but he's also played solid golf at this venue. Ooh. I want to, but also I can't. I can't do it. Let's keep on scooting down. Vince Whaley versus Adam Hadwin. I feel like Whaley's actually been playing a lot better lately. Does the model like Vince Whaley versus Adam Hadwin? Ooh, it would have gone with Hadwin instead. So no, we don't like that one. Ryan Moore, Kevin Streelman. Ludwig versus Davis Thompson. No. Adam Svensson, Keith Mitchell. Svensson's got negative odds over Keith Mitchell, who's also, but Keith has not been playing well. And he grades out too good for us. It's probably going to tell us to go to Keith, which I don't even want to do. Zach Johnson versus Luke List is a fun name. Let's see what that one kicks out. ZJ versus Luke List, he's been, I think he's been struggling. But he's better than Zach Johnson in the power ranking market there. So that's not good. We're not going to, it would have told us to bet Luke List instead. What's Luke List been up to? I know. What on earth? This model of mine is all drunk, but we like the other one. All right. So Alex Smalley, Nick Hardy. Smalley's been playing some solid golf. Nick Hardy, I don't think so much. Let's take a look there. Smalley, Hardy. Interesting combination of last names, Alex and Nick Hardy. Nick Hardy's going to kick out as the option mate to go. Let's take a look at Nick Hardy's situation. Has he been playing good golf? I feel like he hasn't necessarily been playing the best golf last while. Missed a bunch of, I mean, he's not necessarily getting it done, but playing okay. Nope, can't say I like that bet either. But I mean, look at how many bets we've got over here. We can just keep going and going and going. Taylor Moore, Matt Kuchar, can't say I'm a fan of that. JT Poston versus Brian Harmon. It's more, it's like kind of a last win versus a guy who's played well at this golf course. Brendan Todd, Chad Ramey. Ooh, it's going to tell us to go to Brendan Todd. Interesting. Let's take a look. I think Brendan Todd's like approach players has gone to absolute shit. But that's fine. Yeah. Butterfield, he made the cut. Good for him. But I mean, what has happened with his irons? So I'm not thrilled about that. Even though we've got some good form towards the end of the year. Like, did he make a swing change? He just showed up to the fall swing without a swing. Like, what on earth is going on over there? What on earth has happened to his game? Yeah, not betting that one. Sorry. Even though the model's kicking the stuff out, you got to, with a massive gap in recent play. Mark Hubbard versus Daniel Berger. Interesting bet. So Mark Hubbard is a top 40 beast. Daniel Berger has been struggling a touch to get inside the. And he's not putting very well. But why is Daniel Berger the better player? Interesting stuff. I've said this before. You are a big fan of the Breaking 100 concept. Yes, dude. I love that. We are preaching about bankroll management here. And making sure that you can just keep grinding out those profits. And I think one of the biggest thing I learned is I might even have to decrease my $10 I do on the outrights to $5, unfortunately, of the 100, because we are crushing the placement market, but we're just donating $10 every week. We just can't seem to find a goddamn winner. Finishing second, finishing fourth, like we just can't get a guy across the line. And it's been hemorrhaging money for us. So you have to track your bets. You have to make sure that you know your weaknesses and strengths, and then you focus your most money in those markets because that's where you want to go. So I appreciate that, man. That's a great concept. I agree. Yeah. Yes. So if you want to do $5 outrights, $5 first round leader, that's also, if you want to do that kind of, which first round leader market is also, it can make you tilt. I hit last year or 2 years ago, I hit 5 first round leaders in 2 tournaments, and I didn't even return a full payout because I hit 3 and 2 in 2 different tournaments, and they were chopped so badly that I didn't even return a full outright payout despite having hit 5 guys. Like, oh my God. Golf betting can be tilting. It can be tilting. Nico Echeverria versus Michael Thorbjornsson. I mean, Nico's been playing some solid golf, but he's a massive, massive favorite. I don't know if we want to go to that one, but look at the difference in odds if you go take two shots over Michael Thorbjornsson's market there. So let's take a look at Nico, if it will let us. No, it's not. Okay. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that bet either. Denny McCarthy over Siwoo Kim is very interesting. Siwoo doesn't necessarily like this golf course. Maybe this is the one that we're going to go to. Let's take a look at that. Denny over Siwoo. Ooh, it almost wants to give us Siwoo. But, we might just take a look at some recent course history here, because I think that might be where we can find this. Like, Siwoo Kim at this golf course has just never got it together. He's not the best putter. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Denny McCarthy, I think we might go with that bet, friends. Despite playing, wow, the putter's actually found itself some life in the last little while. Zozo 6th, T5 at the BMW Champ. Wow, Siwoo's been playing some solid golf. But then we scroll down to his RSM course history here, and it's complete disgustingness. And his iron play at this, he's never gained strokes with his irons at this golf course. Why is that? Siwoo Kim, now granted, the last time he played was 2023, but before that it was 2022. I mean, he hasn't played hardly in the last 4 years, only one tournament. That's a crazy situation, though. What is Siwoo's situation with his irons? Is he a good wedge player or not? 66th with his wedges. That's the problem with Siwoo. He's a very good long iron player, not necessarily the best with the wedges. Whereas Denny McCarthy is a very good wedge player. Ooh. So, yeah, let's do that. I like it. We'll take a gamble. Despite the great course history, I mean, the great form, we're going to take a gamble on the course history and just do a 20-year. Nice little $20 on Denny McCarthy to beat Siwoo Kim, who's really never played great golf at this golf course before. So we'll see what happens with that. Sheamus Power versus Ben Griffin. I feel like those are identical kind of options to go with. Bud Coley over Webb Simpson is a fun bet. Webb Simpson, obviously great at this golf course. Matt Wallace versus Andrew Novak, also very fair matchup. Doug Gim versus Arsen Eckroats. See, I feel like, do we think Eckroat's going to, like, after a win, do we think he's going to continue? Like, what did he do after the Cognizant? He finished 36th. He's just been making cuts, nothing too crazy, which is basically the same thing as Doug Gim. Remember, Doug Gim kind of flirting around that top 20 market. Eckroat's the putting situation, not the best. What's he done here? T8 last year. So we'll leave that one alone. Gary Woodland over Grayson Sig. Look at this massive margin. But if we just take the two, this is the bet. We're going to go with this one as well. I'm telling you right now. Unfortunately, Gary hasn't been playing the best, and I don't know how he plays at this golf course. Oh, the T9 at the Shriners, T16 at the Sandersons, and then he 33rd at the Zozo. Been putting a lot better lately as well. Mr. Kutcher, he only played here in 2012. Holy cow. Hardly ever plays this golf course. So has Gary found a groove or what? I mean, the iron play's been solid. The putting can come and go. Who was he up against? Grayson. Grayson's been playing some really good golf. So I don't know about that. I mean, look at this form from Grayson and look at the course history. Let's take a gamble on him. Let's take a gamble on him. Let's see if the model actually kicks it out. Versus Gary. I doubt it. It likes Gary over Grayson because Grayson's only showed up the last little while. Whereas Gary, it's the opposite way. I mean, look at this disgusting golf prior to this. We'll take a chance. We're kind of just having some fun out here. We'll bet another 20 something on this dude. Where is he? Grayson Sig. And we're going to do it with minus 105. So we're going to go minus 1.5 strokes. So what we're going to do is you click this one, and now Grayson Sig has to beat him by 2 shots, but it takes it all the way down to minus 125 from minus 163. So I kind of fancy that in a way. So we're going to put 25 down to win our 20 and go there. Boom chakalaka. And then we're going to take a look at the final few matchups here. Then we're going to do some underdog drafting as well. Man, we're going to do some long streams. It is the last one. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have some fun. Hit that like button. Let us know that you love the show, which most of you have done already. So I appreciate that. Joel Damon versus Jake Knapp. Oh, we're getting some nice odds on Jake Knapp to beat Joel Damon. Coming back right off the situation. I can't tell you I'm a fan of that, though. Who said something about Chandler Phillips? Let's take a look at what Chandler's been up to the last little while. Ooh, he's been a little hit and miss here and there. Not necessarily the best iron player in the world, which can lead to some issues. Very accurate off the tee. So this kind of a golf course should work out for him. Who's he up against? Joe Highsmith, who's a very similar kind of golfer. Shorter guy. Let's see what happens. Okay, so Highsmith. Oh, we've got the Farcanel Lotto ticket. All right, we're going to do that right after this. Oh, yeah. Joe Highsmith, let's go. He's playing some fantastic golf right now. Joe Highsmith, baby. And we're going to take him at plus 110 over the Chan man because we're giving Chandler Phillips 1.5 strokes. So we have to beat him by 2, but this is the world we want to find ourselves in because, you know, we're probably going to lose some of these bets by 1 stroke, which is going to be terrible. But this is the nice thing. You can, if you don't want to lay $24 to win 20, you can just bet your 20 to win 22, which I like that a lot. So we are good to go there. Let's go. So our pending bets, we've hit Joe Highsmith over Chandler Phillips. Let's go. Grayson Sig over Gary Woodland. Denny McCarthy over who the heck, Siwoo Kim. And Jacob Bridgeman over who the hell was that? It was Jacob Bridgeman over... Ooh, where the hell is he? Andrew Putnam. Jacob Bridgman over Andrew Putnam. So those are our 4 matchups at Bet 105. Go and deposit over there. If you get your first deposit in there, you'll get a $25 deposit bonus. And if that bet loses, tell customer service back 9 sent you, and you can get another $25. So it's basically a $50 deposit bonus over there. Use Cash App or MoonPay to kind of get your your crypto in there. It's available in all 50 states and even across, wherever you want to find. I don't know if it's across the world, but definitely available in all 50. Beautiful stuff. Back to now some underdog drafts. So feel free to ask me anything you want about underdog. We're kind of going to go, and I've got a few slow drafts we're going to roll through and see where it goes from there. But first, Barcanal, we've got the lotto ticket, 180,000 to 1. So $1 can win you a house. We got Australian Open, Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson for a top 5, John Parry for a top 10, and Jack Buchanan for a top 20. Then on the PGA Tour, we've got JJ Spaun top 5, Matt McCarty top 10, Francesco Molinari top 20, and then on the LPGA, we got a Brooke Henderson top 10. If all of those cash in that parlay, you turn $1 into 180K. I don't know which books allow that, but that's some badass bets. I love the lotto tickets. It's become a staple of back nine bets. Let's go far. Let's go far. Let's go far. All right. So let me show you the underdog tool that I've been using. And we're going to go to the OG Dog Dominator. This is what you can get over in the link in the description below, at my X account, all of that stuff. Let me get my face out of here too, because it's a different situation. If you're in the mood to draft some underdog best ball stuff, it's $10 an entry. You can win 50K by the end of the Open Championship. The whole idea is to kind of get your guys through each round. There's 4 rounds that you got to survive. And I'm doing a terrible job of getting the screen lined up, but then I'm going to start explaining to you guys what's going on. All right, so we're just going to do this. Let's go with 95%. And then we zoom in a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. So you need to get your first few dudes through the first leg, which is 7 tournaments. And then you're drafting in a draft with 6 people. So you and 5 others. The best of the 6 makes it through to round 2. Then you go again. 6 people, the best of those 6 goes through. Then you go to round 3. The best of those 6 goes through to the final round. And then there's about like 250 people in round 4. It's basically a small DFS contest. And what happens is you're drafting 10 guys. You don't have to set a lineup once you're done. Once you've drafted these dudes, all it takes is the best score available, and it's points-wise. So it's DFS points, no finishing positions. On Underdog, you only have scores. So you're basically looking for guys who can go deep and guys who are available. So you're looking for a lot of volume given their schedule. And at the top here, we've got the grid that shows you, okay, if we're typing in Scotty Scheffler, Tony Finau, these are the tournaments that they will be playing. So right away, we got some issues early in, our schedule. So neither of them plays the Sony Open. So if you're drafting a bunch of top dudes that don't have Sony Open on their schedule, we are going to be a little bit of a problem. Yeah. So let's go to my Underdog. And you know what we're going to go? I've got a different version of this tool that I've been using. And it's mine. Is it this one? I've got a million different tabs at the bottom. So if you do the slow drafting stuff, you can find your own tabs. It's the other file. I had to start a new one because I have so many damn tabs, it maxed me out. So I need to go to this guy. Okay. So this is the fun part now. So now I've got all my different tabs down here. You can kind of just figure it out. And then I've labeled all my drafts. So I can go in and find them. So draft number 89. This is the situation we find ourselves in. We've only drafted Ludwig. Do I even have an 89 over here? I do not. So you can make a new one. You go hit this button. You duplicate. Boom chakalaka. Bob's your uncle. We've got ourselves a number 89 draft over here. Okay. So we got Ludwig. And what I'll do is I'll just do ones that haven't necessarily, like this isn't fun watching me click a second name. Ludwig, I'll probably just go with Tony Finau because Tony Finau plays in Mexico, by the way. And I think he'll be playing in Mexico. So let's go to a few that have a few more names clicked. Let's go to the 52nd one. And I think I'm going to have to open up 2 files because the 52nd one is in the other one. Jesus. Okay. Hang in there. What's up, Chris? Yeah. We're looking good. We are looking good. All right. So I'm going to go to this one, the Dog Dominator. Nope. This is the same one. I'm in the same one. It's been a long draw. It's been a long stream, folks. Hang tight with me, okay? We need to go to Byron's Dog Dominator. There we go. All right. This is going to have our draft that we've got Colin, Hideki, Siwoo, and Corey. Those are some high volume options outside of Hideki. I love that. So we're going to take a look here. 51. Here's draft number 51. So as we've plugged these in, Colin, Hideki, Siwoo, and Corey, right? Is that who those were? Yes. Okay. So we're going to hit the ADP button, get these guys sorted out nicely, and figure out where we want to go with this. So we got Wyndham, Max Griesemann, Taylor Pendrith, Jordan Spieth, Nick Dunlap available to us in the 5-5 hole. What is the model telling us to do? So it's telling us Ben Griffin would be a solid play if he was available. Hoagie would be a solid play if he was available. Max Griesemann, sorry, these are projected events. We want adjusted ranking. So Ben Griffin would still be good. Tom Hoagie is going backwards for us. JT Poston, not a bad option. Steven Yeager, not a bad option because we're trying to fill these holes. So we need some Mexico options. So we're going to go down here. Here's the Mexico Open. And you can see it right over there. And we're going to just filter on some guys that are playing in Mexico. Then we're going to go hit the adjusted rank, see who the heck we like. And then you can go to the 5th round, the 5th tournament of the 2nd round, which is the Valspar. And we filter on blanks over there to make sure that we're getting guys that are playing in both those tournaments because we currently have 0 starts. And we've got 4 guys picked already, which means we've only got 6 left. And we have to fill at least 6 spots to get all our points. Because what we're trying to do is you can't really figure out who's going to play well, but you can definitely try and figure out who's going to play where. So that is what we're trying to do here. This is the situation. Oh, yeah. No, Chris is awesome. He's just giving us he's just baby. All right. So we're going to take a look here, and then we're going to figure out, okay, round 4. We got the 4th and 5th tournament also with zero guys playing right now. So we got to go and filter on those. And it's the Rocket Mortgage and John Deere Classic. Now, what I want to point out to you guys is who's going to be playing the Rocket Mortgage and John Deere Classic? It's going to be a bunch of jabronis, right? But because there's no finishing position points, it's based purely off of score. So birdies, bogeys, score to par, birdie streaks, eagles, all of that stuff. Those are the points that you're going to be getting. There's no finishing position points on Underdog. If you take a look at the John Deere Classic and the Rocket Mortgage, together they play 4 under par per round combined. The John Deere is 2.5 strokes under par on average, and the Rocket is minus 1.5 strokes under par on average. If you're going to be kind of focusing on guys who play the US Open, that's 2.2 strokes over par. You feel me? So then you're going to have the US Open and the Open Championship in the same freaking week, and combined, those are 4.5 strokes over par. So those include bogeys, bogey streaks, doubles, and triples. And when it comes to Underdog, you record points for double bogeys, which is -3 points, and a triple bogey is -7 points. Whereas in DraftKings, a double bogey or a triple bogey is just -1. You feel me? There's no bogey streaks in DraftKings. There are bogey streaks in Underdog. And when you're under par, you get a point per under par. So if you go into the John Deere Classic for Underdog and you shoot 25 under par, you are going to find yourself with 25 points. Even if you can shoot 25 under par at the John Deere Classic and finish 11th. But that doesn't matter, because if you win the Open Championship at 1 over par, that's 26 points in just 2 par difference between the two tournaments. Never mind all the additional birdies you've made. Never mind the eagles you've made. Never mind the streaks of birdies you've made at the John Deere and Rocket versus the Open Championship. You're going to be eating. You're going to be making bogeys, bogey streaks, doubles, over par scoring. So you're really trying to focus on getting guys to play as many tournaments as possible, but you want to focus on the courses that really provide you with the opportunity to go low. So you don't ever want to start a draft without 6 guys playing the Century, because that is easily the tournament that provides the most scoring. I mean, we see scoring records at that golf course all the time. So you want to make sure you've got people playing there. So we're going to take a look at the John Deere and the Rocket and filter in on these guys as well, so that we can see a list of names that we're going to go for at this venue. And this is how you use this tool. It's available on my Patreon at The Model Maniac, and you can also find it on my Twitter account at The Model Maniac too. So we've got Lucas Glover, Emiliano Grillo doing some good stuff for us too. So what this is also doing, it's including exposure for my golfers. So we're going to take a look at the exposure rates for my dudes. You can go in here and you can click put your own exposure CSV from Underdog in this thing. And then it shows me who I have for exposure rates. So I've been drafting pretty much Tony Finau in every other draft. So it's going to take this 47% and hit Tony Finau with a hard ding, because I've drafted too much of him. Eric Cole as well. You saw Tom Hoagie's kind of situation is 53% of the time I've been drafting Tom Hoagie. So we don't want to be overcommitting to certain guys. So as a result, we want to make sure that we keep our stuff together. And what was that on? Number 52. Okay. So we're going back to number 52 over here. Where the hell was I? There we go. Okay. Where the heck were we? I thought I had these in here already. We're getting completely lost. I had a whole bunch of stuff over here. I completely lost my spot. Was I on 51? I was. Interesting. Okay, so we'll just use 51's thing. So we filtered all of these things. Lucas Glover's a great option. Patrick Rogers is going to show up a lot. He plays a lot of golf in that final round. This is round 4 of the contest. Then you want to take a look at guys like Matt McCarty, who's going to be playing the John Deere Classic, because his FedEx Cup ranking is 104th. He's not going to be playing signature events. He is playing the Century, though. So that's a good start to have. Kind of gives you a free square there. Andrew Novak's been playing solid. He'll be playing all of those kind of tournaments. And Andrew Novak finishes inside the top 20 a lot. And he'll be playing easy courses, plays the Amex, plays the Sony, plays the Waste Management Phoenix Open, goes to the Mexico Open. And we got no Mexico Open people. But I've been drafting a little bit too much Andrew Novak as well. So he's going to be getting a bit of a ding down the board here for us. But I'm a fan of these guys at the top. We'll put Emiliano Grillo towards the end of it, but Justin Lowe is an option for us as well. Rasmus Højgaard is someone I've been going to a lot too, because he won the DP World Tour race to Dubai, which means he gets into the first 2 signature events of the year. Fun fact. So let's go and throw. Who do we want to do? Because ideally, you're going to go look at this board now and say Wyndham Clark, Max Griesemann, Jordan Spieth. Those look like all nice names, but we're not going to have 6 people playing in those very important events. Now they'll overlap in some other events too. So we got to just figure out where we want to go. So we're going to just go with. I think I might just take a stab at JT Poston, but he's not even in this list because he doesn't play all of these events. He's a signature event guy. So we're going to have to click some nasty names. because this is draft number 51 for me. I've done almost 90. So I've got all sorts of combinations of all sorts of dudes. So I think what I'm just going to go ahead and do is just take Andrew Novak early. Grab him, and then we go with him. We'll find a better draft that's got some fun names like this one. This looks like fun. So we got the 31st scramble. Yeah, we got pick number 9 and 10. That'll be fun. So we've got to go all the way to number 31, pick number 9 and 10. And what I've done is I've already scripted out this draft that I want. So we're going to get to 161 6 of 6s. So if we got some 6s, like this is a problem up here. We can't have the Sony and Amex actually being 5 and 5 because we're missing out on very big points. And the Amex is the next easiest tournament out there. So this is a problem. Not a good draft. But I got carried away with too many guys. I got, why the hell do I have a Jason Day all the way at the end here just to get the back end figured out? Now this team is going to be very good in the second, third, and fourth rounds, particularly the third round. We don't have a single hole, but are we going to get there given the fact that we're missing 2 guys at 2 very low scoring events? That's the problem. Now we've got some backup to miss some cuts in the other 4, 5, 6, and 7 of round 1, but we've got a problem, friends. Not a great draft over here. Now, maybe some other guys who don't typically play the Sony or the Amex will play this year, and we get lucky, hopefully. But given the schedules that I've worked out and given the history of tournaments, we're going to have some issues here. And it doesn't matter because we've got Harry Hall, who's going to count as 5, and we've got Matteo Manacero, who I don't have playing early. Maybe he does, though. So if we go Harry Hall, okay, maybe we can find some guys to figure this out because Matteo, some of these DP World Tour guys go and mess around in Europe for a little bit, and then they show up at the Farmers, which is fine. So given our situation, Sam Stevens seems to play these situations. Matt McCarty likely will play the beginning of those situations too. So I know you guys were asking about Matt. We'll get another guy going into the I've already drafted. Why have I drafted Matteo? God damn it. I've got this backwards. So do we don't have Jason Day on the card. So we're going to have to get rid of Jason Day, which hurts us at the Farmers and the Amex. But we need to get all 3. So do we have Matt McCarty available to ourselves? Yeah. He is available. So if we click him, he lights up a bunch for us. And then we just need an Amex option as well. Whew. So as you can tell, like you can just click names. I'm using this tool to figure this stuff out, and it's stressful as heck. If you're not using it, like, good luck, trying to figure out these schedules, especially if you're drafting 30-second drafts. So, yeesh, you know what I'm saying? So we've got, who are we missing? We don't have Harry Hall as our one option either, who's already in here. Who are we missing? Rasmus, Matteo, Russell, and Harris. Why did I put this stuff backwards? We don't have Matteo in here, which we got to do. Gosh darn it. So we're going to have a problem, at least at the Amex, unless Matteo shows up there. But we've got it pretty much covered across the board. I feel more comfortable taking an L later on because I think people that draft early aren't going to have the best situations in the second and third and fourth rounds. You got to make it to those though, and you're not going to make it if you're leaving the Amex. Tons and tons of points of the Amex are going to be left out there. So unfortunately, we're going to go with Harry Hall and Matt McCarty and hope for the best. But I don't like that I did that. Harry Hall's been taken, even better. So let's go find another replacement for him. I don't know who plays the Amex. That's a solid option for us. Let's take Harry Hall out of here. And we're going to go to the Amex. Ricky Fowler plays the Amex and the Sony. Okay. Let's take a look here. Is Ricky available? I doubt it. Ricky Fowler is available. All right. So put in Ricky Fowler over here. Boom. And then we get to 163. Sheesh. Okay. I like that. So we're going to go Ricky Fowler, baby. Now, this is the thing. Like, trying to figure these things out is very tricky on the go. Let's go to Scramble 25. This is our team. We got a Xander. Oh, this is okay. So I'm going to give you guys a little quick secret here. This is the magic recipe to find the best lineup. A Xander Tony Finau start with Corey Connors, because number 25 is my best grid that I've found so far. If we go over here, 166. Woo! You know what I'm saying. So we've got Xander, Tony, Corey, Benny on, all of these guys. The only tournaments we're missing 6 of 6 projected is the Mexico Open, and I believe that is the 3rd round, the 6th tournament. What is that? The Charles Schwab, which isn't even, they play over par there. So that's fine. We love this line. This is my favorite lineup I've drafted so far. So Matt McCarty, Rasmus, Lucas, Ricky. Ricky really helps a lot because I think he's outside the top 60 in FedEx Cup points, but he's also going to get a lot of signature event invites. So we're going to go to this situation and we're going to see it's Doug Gim that does us the magic number there. And then we're going to go with him. Boom. My favorite draft yet. Now the problem is Tony Finau's not dropping to the 11th pick anymore. That's the problem. So getting Xander and Tony Finau is going to be very, very difficult because Xander's the 2nd pick and Tony Finau doesn't make it to the 11th pick anymore, unfortunately. So that is my favorite grid. I mean, 166, you saw it live on the show. Very freaking cool. If Ricky lands up going to Mexico for some reason, then we got a seriously good lineup, you know. So my favorite one is that one. Let's do number 47, just to kind of show you guys what's going on. We can do, let's go 54 as well. Got Ludwig, Sahith, Davis Thompson, and Benny on for number 54. I need to figure out exactly which one it is because where did I cut my stuff off? We've got a million different tabs down here, but we're going to find it and click it. So here's 54. And we've got our guys, as always. Same situation. So you're going to notice this stuff as you're drafting. Boom. You know, Mexico Open and the Valspar going to give you massive issues. The Houston Open going to give you problems. The CJ Cup is going to give you problems. And the John Deere Classic and particularly the Rocket Mortgage going to give you big, big issues. So you got to make sure you guys are using this thing to kind of figure out where you're going if you are doing best ball because it's essential. So the tool is telling us Jordan Spieth, 35th ranked guy compared to the 29 rank. Ben Griffin, he's probably been drafted already. I don't think we'll get him at 28. No. But Taylor Pendrith, Jordan Spieth, I've drafted hardly any Max Homer. I've got him ranked 57th. So not my favorite cup of tea. Brian Harmon is ranked 23rd for me, so maybe we go to him. Where is Brian Harmon here? He goes backwards because he kind of covers a lot of the tournaments that these guys already cover. So you got to find guys that are going to be doing different tournaments. Jordan Spieth, not in the signature events, but will get invited to them on sponsors' invites and potentially play a bunch of other stuff. So you can get all sorts of weird. I'm probably going to go with some. Oh man, I'm going to go with Steven Yeager because he gets you early. He gets a lot of good enough stuff here. He's 43rd in the world, but he's not playing well enough to just kind of stick to signature events. He's got to play other tournaments as well. So he gets you a bit of everything. Potentially could show up to Mexico. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Also, I can't go with the same guys I've kept going with because I'm going to have duplicates. So that's the situation here, people. Let's do number 71. We've got Ludwig, Rory, and Ben Griffin. Number 71. Beautiful. So we like JT Poston as our next option, which is, I like it a lot. It kind of covers a lot of our bases, and then we're going to kind of figure out Mexico on the back end. So a lot of the Mexico Open options are going to be 32, 41, 40, like on the back end of the drafts. So you gotta click some nasty names early if you want to fill up Mexico, if you want to fill up the Rocket, if you want to fill up freaking the Valspar. You know, these are all, especially after the Players, people aren't going to be showing up to the Valspar and get their ass kicked out there. But Spieth plays there, all of that stuff. I know, but dude, this is like the biggest edge I think I've ever had in anything, is using this tool to kind of figure out stuff. I think I've solved the problem. Just got to get lucky with some guys playing okay golf because we got the schedule figured the hell out. So we're going to go for JT Poston is an option, but Corey Connors is dropped all the way down to us at 19. What happens if we plug in Corey Connors instead? So keep an eye. I'm about to point at my screen, which doesn't even work. 71 total rounds or total tournaments played right now with JT Poston in there. If we go with Corey, it stays at 71, but changes it around a bit. Corey Connors plays a lot of golf, but so does JT Poston. So I've drafted a lot of Corey already. So let's see why it's telling me to go to JT instead of Corey. Because Corey, it's dropping us way down because I've drafted Corey a million times already. So that's the situation with Corey. But JT Poston, he jumps all the way to 8 for us from 24 because he gets a lot of rounds in. He's going to play in signature events, and I haven't drafted a lot of JT Poston. So the exposure is helping us get to these guys without, becoming a ADP zombie. You don't want to be like, we're clicking him in 19 spot and his ADP is 38. People are just clicking and clicking and clicking. It's not going to work for you guys. Let me just show you an example. So let's say you've got the second spot, okay? And we're just going to go off of ADP over here. So we'll just make it even the third one because I think that will change it up a little bit. So Ludwig. So we're going to go with Ludwig in the third spot. And then we get the 10th pick. So we get Tony Finau is going to fix a lot of Mexico Open. He hasn't been falling to 10 even. Remember, I told you he doesn't get to 11. So let's go with Hideki. Or let's go with Victor Hovland, who hardly played any golf. So if you go with Ludwig and Victor, those are two very good options, right? You've only got 32 total rounds of golf played. I think Tom Hoagie played like 20, or Eric Cole played like 23 rounds on his own last year. Then we're going to go to 15. We go with Tom Kim, who's going to be a solid option. He plays a lot of golf as well. In the 2022, 22nd spot, Tommy Fleetwood. Now, look, you've drafted 4 guys, and only one is playing the Amex of all of these dudes. So there's your first problem already. But if you're just clicking names, you're not going to know. Then we're going to go to the 27th pick, Justin Thomas. He'll be playing the Amex. Awesome. But again, early on, you've only got 2 guys playing the Sony, the Amex, and the Farmers. Then we're going to go to Brian Harmon. He'll be playing the Sony, not playing the Amex or the Farmers, though. Then we're going to go to the Denny McCarthy playing the 39th spot here. Denny McCarthy. He plays the Sony, does not play the Amex or the Farmers. So you've clicked 6 names, 7 names, and now you've only got 3 left, and already you are not going to be able to make a 6-person lineup for the Amex or the Farmers. Just by going mindlessly clicking some of the best options available at that ADP. You feel me? If you go with the 46th guy, it's going to be Chris Kirk. Helps you out a little bit. Cool. 51, Andrew Novak. Helps you out a little bit. So you can kind of catch some breaks over there. 58 spot, Kurt Kitayama. Helps you out. So you've already got 2 guys that aren't playing in the first round of stuff, which is a massive problem, especially with it being the Amex, where lots of points get scored. Then you go to the next round and you've only got 32 guys playing across the board there. Yes, you're looking solid in the next one in round 3 because you've got 39 guys going, but are those 32 guys from round 2 going to get you to the 3rd round? So the whole point is trying to make sure that you can advance from each round and each round. And if you're not drafting the right way, you're in trouble. So I know there's a lot going on here, but people are putting $10 and they're just wasting $10 because you know what I'm saying? They're not drafting optimally. So just figured I'd do that while we were doing all of this stuff. I'm out of here. It's 2 hours. Hit that like button, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to all those that celebrate those holidays. We'll probably be doing a Fantasy Golf Degenerates preview. I'll be doing underdog drafts on my Back Nine Bets channel every morning, every other morning or so, just to kind of get those done. Same situation as this. And then we'll be back for the century. Going to go again. We'll see all of you guys there. And we're going to have a great 2025. I'll be a dad by the time you see me on the next camera appearance. So think about me while I'm listening to a screaming baby. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I cannot wait to be a dad. So I'm looking forward to that. It's 2 weeks' time. December 4th is D-Day. So I appreciate every one of you guys for showing up. Have an awesome rest of your year. And I wish you all the biggest blessings. I hope that anything bad in your life gets completely turned around and it all turns into good. And even the good things in your life become great things. So that is my parting words to you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. We'll see you soon. Peace.